there's so much stuff going on in the market these days. Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, what should I do? NFTs, stock market, companies, Tesla, Elon Musk. But at the end of the day, something that you guys have to focus on is how much should you be spending on food and rent each month? Okay?
Right.
See what I went there with that? There's so much stuff that you can be focused on. But at the end of the day, the basic stuff is how much should you be spending on your eating and living costs each week? I'm sorry, each month.
Yeah.
Okay? So nobody likes to budget. So I'm going to budget for you. I'm going to say, here, I'm going to do this for you.
Let me take these notes.
Basically, and we can extrapolate these numbers. If you make a little bit less, you make a little bit more. But if you are making $50,000 a year, nothing crazy, not amazing, not poor, doing okay. 50 grand, single person, obviously if you're head of household, married, that's another level of things. But if you're making 50 grand a year, here's how much you should be spending on food and rent each month based on 50K. It's a CNBC story. So let's say you make 50 G's. Okay, after taxes, you're again, this is going to depend on your state, your income, the bracket, state tax. This is a very general thing here. So play along accordingly. After taxes, you're probably going to be taking home around $40,000. If you're making 50, let's say your taxes are 20%, give or take. Now you're walking away with about $40,000 a year take home pay. And if you break that down, that's about $3,300 a month. We're getting somewhere right now. So your housing, the cost should be no more than 30% of your gross income. Let's do some basic math for people at home. You're making 50 G's. 30% of that is $15,000. 15,000 divided by 12. That's how many months there are in a year, David.
Okay.
That comes out to $1,250 a month of what you can afford in rent. So let's just talk about this for a little bit. If you make 50 G's, you should be, again, around 30% of gross income. Your rent should be somewhere around $1,300. That's the number, max. Now, if you double that, if you're making 100 grand, now you can spend $2,600 a month in rent, right?
Right.
You're making 200 grand. 26 times 2, 54. Now you can spend $5,400 in rent. See how that works? So 30% is the number. If you're making 50 G's, keep your rent somewhere around $1,200. Cool? This is your rent, bro. This is what you can afford. Now you know. So if you're spending $2,000 a month, but you make 50 grand a year, you're done messed up. And we'll talk about a budget in a second. We're going to have to find out where that money can be used elsewhere because you're only making 50 grand. That's the number.
Right.
So question is, where are you at with this in your rent? Number 2, now food, I talk about your big 3 expenses, which include your housing, which we just talked about, your transportation. We talk about cars all the time.
Yeah.
Number 3 is your F&B, your food and beverage. And I talk about your food right now. So your food should be somewhere around 10% of your total pay. 10%. Okay? So of your take-home pay, let's say you're making $3,300 a month. $3,300 a month. 10% of that, $330 a month. Okay? So maybe that's $80 a week. Maybe that's somewhere around there. So you go out and you drop $100 at the bar one night.
Yikes! You already used it up for.
You used it up. You used up a third of your stuff. So the average U.S. household is their monthly groceries. Now we're talking groceries here in this segment. Is just a little under $400, $380. Call it $400. So that's about 12% of their budget right there. So you got to ask yourself, okay, there's a difference between groceries and going to the grocery store, going to, Publix down here in Florida, or you're going to, Woolworths or whatever the hell you got going on, or whether that's Whole Foods or whatever it is, or whole paychecks. There's a difference in doing that versus doing Uber Eats or DoorDash, or takeout delivery 3 to 5 times a week, like certain people we know. And there's a difference between doing that and going to actual restaurants, happy hour, eating, drinking, eating out, that kind of stuff like that. So with your F&B, it's death by 1,000 bites. So ask yourself, all right, cool. Have I ever even done a food budget? All right, if I make 50 G's, take home pay, 10%, $3,300. Yeah, I kind of need to be around $400 for the month. That's $100 a week in groceries. And we'll talk about, all right, well, if I want to spend extra on the weekends, all right. These are numbers that you need to do.
Yeah.
This is important because you know what you're paying in rent. You know what your
That's
car
fixed.
payment is. It's kind of fixed. These things are kind of fixed. Food is the one thing. It's just like, I don't know, just swipe.
Right.
Swipe. I don't
lunch.
know. Swipe lunch.
Do you want to get beers after work?
You want to get beers after work? That's $60. Bing, bing, bing.
Right.
This shit adds up.
Right.
Right. So
let's recap real quick.
Yes.
I've been taking notes, Sauce. Billionaire by episode 100.
Yep.
30% on your housing.
yes,
And that's based around your $3,300 a month.
that's based on your total gross income. So if you're 50 grand, your take home pay at 3,300. Yes, you should be spending. What was it? 1,250. Exactly.
Right. $1,250 a month on housing.
If you're making 50 G's.
If you're making
Correct.
50. This is all based around 50.
It's
Gs,
all
that's
based
right.
around 50 G's. So if you're only making 40, scale it down a little bit. If you're making 80, scale it up a
This
little
is
bit.
good stuff.
This is good stuff, bro.
This is good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Then
yeah.
we go
This
down
is-
to
we're helping
food.
the people. Now we're going on food.
That's 10% of your total pay for the month. So again,
Yes.
so we're looking at $330 per month, or or $80 per week.
There you go. Now, you might be saying, this isn't enough. I got to have a little more flexibility. I want to go out and I want to drink. I want to have a thing.
Right.
All right, let's talk about this. There's something called, we've talked about this. Let's talk about overall budget now. There's something called the 50-30-20 rule. 50% goes to your needs, 30% goes to your wants, 20% goes to your financials, savings, and debt. So let's just do a quick little calculator. If you're making 50 G's, okay, 50 G. Now let's talk about overall budget, needs, wants, financials.
Right.
Okay, 50 G's after taxes, you're making 40 G's,
Right.
what have you, $3,300 a month. 50% of the 3,300, these are your needs,
Housing, food,
okay,
transportation.
is $1,650. $1,650. So in your needs, I need this. My rent, I gotta have utilities. I gotta keep the lights on over here, and what I would call a stocked fridge. This isn't Uber Eats. This isn't going out to the club. I got food in the fridge.
Necessities.
Necessities. Like this is the basics. This isn't the sushi at the nice sushi. This is like, yeah, I need some like meats and cheeses and milk and like this basic stuff. You're at $1,650, okay, of your necessities. Now 30% can go to your wants. Now what are your wants?
You said
By the way, this is 30%. This is $990, so about $1,000 goes to wants. $1,650 needs, 50%, about a little less than $1,000, $990 your wants. What do you want? You want to go out, you want to have a nice time, you want to go to the bar, you need a nice cell phone, you want to have obviously your cell phone bill is kind of in between a need and a want. What type of stuff? You want to go out, you want to buy new clothes. That's every month. You got $1,000 to like, what do I want to do this month? Netflix, subscriptions, taking a girl on a date, buying your man some flowers, whatever the hell it is. These are your wants. But 20%, and here's the kicker, baby. Save that money. 20% needs to go to your savings or your financials or paying off debt. That's $660 a month. So if you're taking home $3,300 a month based on 50 G's, here are the numbers. 50% necessities, $1,650. $1,650. 30% your wants, $990. Call it a G. Those are your wants. Financials, the key, 20%, $660. Stack that cash, pay off debt, contribute to your 401k, whatever it is. The key to it all is having that 20% mindset. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a puzzle. You got to figure it all out. How much am I spending on rent? How much am I spending on food and beverage? How much is my car? Do I have a car? Do I have an Uber? Actually, I don't have a car, so I'm just Ubering everywhere, so I'm saving money so I can spend a little bit more on rent. All right, cool. Rent's crazy expensive. Dude, I ain't going out. Like, it's a puzzle. But the 20% mindset is key because you can either pay yourself first or you pay yourself last. The people that pay themselves first have proven time after time to build wealth. They're stacking cash, they're putting it on the side, they're contributing to their 401k, they're investing in their business, whatever it is, they're putting that money away, and then they'll live on the rest of the 80%. The people that try to spend first, go out, pay their rent, have a good time, eat, drink, and be merry, they've got no money left at the end of the month. And then it's just a cycle. It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Pay yourself first. You've heard that a million different times, but this is like the real life example of why you need to pay yourself first. Put your money aside, invest, get it out of there, then you spend what's left. See what I'm saying? David, for someone who somehow makes somewhere in this ballpark, what did this do for you?
Well, this kind of just puts things in perspective. So I did something similar a couple of weeks ago where I just tallied up. I was like, all right, this is how much I'm getting this month total with all my paychecks.
Oh, it sounds to me like you did a budget.
It sounds like a budget, right? Is that what that's called? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I went, all right, what are the total expenses of all my bills? And I went down to the tiny nitty gritty shit like Spotify, Hulu, all these little things that are just automatic.
Oh, yeah.
That you miss.
Yes.
Also, found a bunch of shit that I wasn't using. I was paying like $2 for like Nintendo or something. I was like, what the was the last time I played video games?
Get it out.
Immediately, I was like,
Slash that.
$50 a month on sound effects on something that I don't use. So I went through all that and found out my exact numbers. But this isn't too far off from like what I got. And so this really, again, gives you bumpers. We were at Extreme Action Park with a staff meeting, and they asked you if they want the bumpers for the bowling. This kind of gives you those bumpers. So when you roll your money down, you keep it in line and you hit a strike.
Keep it in line, exactly.
So this does a lot. This is good. This is the numbers that people are like, all right, yeah, I should budget, but how much should go to this? How much is too much for my saving?
You know what this is? What I talk about at the beginning of every show? This is 50% knowledge, 50% behavior.
Right.
Knowledge, okay, maybe I didn't know these numbers.
Yeah, okay, now
maybe I didn't know. Now you know, bro.
Right, exactly.
The more you know. Now, what are your behaviors? Are you staying within that budget? Are you spending too much on rent? Do you need to downsize? Do you need to get a roommate? Can you actually spend more on rent? Hey, I'm doing okay. You know what? I actually don't want to spend that much because I want to save that. I want to save that money. Like this is what gets me excited.
Yeah,
I got to be honest with you. Talking about the rate of return of a certain index fund and the mutual fund, like that's not tangible stuff. Rent each and every month. How much food you're putting in your stupid face, David? This is tangible stuff.
100%. Yeah.
You have a beautiful face. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
No, it's all right.
Negativity.
I'm. And this is funny because knowing all these things and having this plan gives you that peace of mind, right?
Ooh.
And so you don't have to worry about, oh my God, am I gonna have enough? Yes, I am because I made that plan already. I know exactly where my money's going and what it's doing. So will I have enough for, to put gas? Yes, I do.
Yes,
I know exactly where the money's going to. So that's one less thing you got to worry about.
This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm here.
Dude, I think I just made $1 million by just saying that.
Talk is money. All we talk is money.
If you enjoyed that short clip from the Soscast, click here to watch another. Click here to watch the full episode, or just stay broke.